Girlfriends, girlfriends, do we have a topic for you? Talk about the girlfriend experts. This is so fun because we're talking about a topic that people believe in or they don't believe in. You know how we like to bring you topics like that. Well, I'm so excited to introduce to the girlfriend, Toni Blackmon, because she is a business consultant who I've worked with for many years. So I've seen her literally go through the process of online dating. I'm excited about this process because I watched her do it. I'm excited about this process because people always have questions about it. I'm excited about this topic because we're the girlfriend experts. So of course we would bring you both sides of the conversation and the deep questions. Now, knowing Toni, she's very direct. She's very intentional. She knows how to explain things. And so I'm very excited about her. And I want to tell you guys, not only is she a business consultant that's at the top of her game, leading a top team, she's got a blog that's coming in the near future. And when I tell you, you're going to want to know about it, you're going to want to know about it because she really knows this. She's been married to the most phenomenal man, Bobby, for 2.5 years. And I'm so excited to watch this process because when I first met Bobby, I could tell. I was like, oh, she really did a good job. She did a really good job. And every time I've been with Bobby, he does. Everybody that I know who I think they've done a good job picking their man, when they meet me, they go like this. Oh God, that's Gloria again. So it's sort of funny because they have that kind of personality that all the girlfriends love. When you have a girlfriend, y'all, let's be girlfriends here, and she gets a man, he needs to fit the picture, okay? He needs to fit in the groove. And so, Toni, we're so excited to meet you. So do a little bit of introduction of yourself, but also we're interested in knowing how the process was for you. Who did you decide to have a conversation with and who you decided not to have a conversation with? And was it time consuming?
First, it's Toni Britton.
Oh, did I say Blackmon again?
You did.
I keep doing it, y'all.
You
oh
do.
My gosh. Oh
and
my gosh.
I just have to say with great joy, it is Toni Britton. And I like that. Was it time consuming? Yes, it was like a part-time job. It was very, very time consuming. And I had to be very selective as to when I was going to go online, when I was going to respond to messages, etc. I kept the notifications off because it could be a big distraction if I let it. I did have a pretty specific process as to deciding who I was going to engage in a conversation with. And listen, everybody's likes are different. So what my standards were may not be your standards, but for me, if anyone wrote to me like in text shorthand, like the letter U instead of YOU, I just I didn't even respond. I needed complete sentences with punctuation. I know, it's very strange. If anyone addressed me as baby, darling, sweetheart, hun, sugar, I just kept it moving because that was not my husband. He would not approach me like that the very first time. And if you have the option online of doing like this flirt thing or a like thing that you can just click without saying anything, I just kept it moving because my profile introduction was very specific, that I appreciated flirts and winks, but that I didn't respond to them. So I did have some pretty specific guidelines, and I kind of learned to stick to that because it was the right thing to do for me.
Well, I'm going to pass it to Chrisette because this conversation is such a juicy conversation that we started some time ago and thought we needed more. So Chrisette, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, Toni. Oh my goodness. I just remember having the conversation with you on our ride back from something. And when I tell you, you could have talked to me for hours about how you were able to find your mate online. So inquiring minds want to know. If you were going to give the girlfriends the 3 top most important things that you found in online dating, what would they be?
Okay, number 1 would be to follow your intuition. Trust your gut. You know, I call that a God whisper. And I'm telling you, if there's any part of an interaction with someone that makes you go, that's weird, then it's weird. Like it really is. And I'm telling you, I was online long enough to know that your instincts are 100% right. I didn't give anybody the benefit of the doubt, period. And it's a good thing I didn't. Number two, be very clear about what you're looking for. I was looking for my husband. Some people are just looking for someone to date. Some people are just looking for friends. So be clear about what you are looking for. And then the third thing is have your standards and don't lower them, period. I had a 100-mile radius that I was willing to look for my husband, and I wouldn't go outside of that, because if at some point it became a relationship, I personally was not willing to deal with a long distance relationship because it wouldn't work for me. And so I just didn't deviate from that. And as it turns out, my husband was 58 miles from me. So
Wow.
it worked out just great. Yeah.
You're talking about being a goal setter and
like for real.
parameters.
For real.
I love that. I love that.
Crystal clear. No hesitation for me.
Yes. Well, Sabrina, what do you want to ask Toni?
You know, this is so amazing because I've heard so many great success stories and I've heard a lot of horror stories about online dating. And Toni, knowing you and knowing your personality, I am just so always shocked to know that you found your husband online. Because for one, you don't appear to be the kind who would take that kind of risk.
Right.
And so it's incredible to share with our girlfriend world that it's okay to take a chance. It's okay to step outside of the box. Tell me this, were you a bit hesitant about meeting strangers and allowing strangers into your world when you first started online dating? Was that a concern of yours at all? The safety of it all?
No, because in my mind, it's no different from meeting someone in the grocery store. You don't know them, and then they invite you out for a date, meeting, you don't know them either. So for me, it was the same precaution. I was probably even more cautious with the online dating. And the reason I did the online dating was because I had 0 dates before I started online dating. Like really and truly, I became single at the age of 49 in 2010, and I had no dates. Where do you meet? At my age, my mom said, well, that's what everybody else is doing. So I was like, okay, if she says okay, I'm going to do it.
That's right.
Mama said I could do it, so I did it. And so I just, if I was meeting someone, number one, they had to come to my city. I wouldn't meet them halfway. I wouldn't meet them a quarter of the way. I wouldn't meet them down the street. They had to come all the way to my city at a place that I chose. And I always drove my car. I always made sure I got there first so I could position myself to see what was coming.
Okay.
And I was just super cautious that way about how I did it. So I wasn't hesitant at all. I wasn't.
Good. Okay,
Not
one more question. This is good because, girl, you were giving the girlfriend so much hope out there, so much hope. How long, this is a good question, how long did you date online before you met your husband?
6 years.
Wow. Oh,
and let me say, not 6 consecutive years, on and off for 6 years. Because I would do like a 3-month subscription and I'd get off for 3 or 4 months. And so it wasn't continuous, but it did take me, listen, here's what I said to myself. I said, so if you are online dating, someone of your caliber has got to be online dating too. He's got to be out there. You just have to wait. And so that's what I did. But it took but it was so worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
Worth it.
That's the word. It was worth the wait.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
Knowing, not settling, being specific, being crystal crystal clear in what you wanted and what you were not settling for. Well, congratulations, Toni. We're just so happy for you. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. Katrina, I know we got to wrap up, but what you got for Toni?
Yes, well, I just want to tell you, because I remember this is what I would have asked you in my single days, is what website were you on?
Girl, let me tell you something. I did every dating website that was out there at least once.
Wow.
Because I wanted to see what the experience was on each one, and it was different on each one. So I tried all of them. I really did. I tried all of them.
What was your criteria for just talking and then going to a date and then knowing no second date or maybe a second date?
We would do the online thing, you know, for about a week. And then I would either say, you know, here's my number, give me a call, or he would ask, but I wouldn't do that before a week. And then we could talk on the phone for about a week. And then I would say, if he didn't say it, why don't we meet? If the conversation, because we wouldn't move to the phone if the messaging conversation wasn't good.
Right.
And if we're on the phone and we're really having, when you're talking to somebody till 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, you probably are trying to have something in common with them. It's time to meet. And it's so funny with my husband, we had planned to meet, and about 3 days before our first date, I got a sty on my eye. And so I called him and I said, we've got to reschedule. I said, because I'm just going to be honest, I have a sty on my eye, and I can't meet you with a sty on my eye. And after we were married, he said, that really made me nervous. He was like, this lady is playing me. He said, I don't know. A sty on her eye? Come on, what is that? Yeah, so that was pretty funny. But after we talked on the phone, we'd meet in person. And then, you know, as far as a date goes, for me, I knew on a first date if I had a connection with someone. And if I didn't, there wasn't a second date. If I wasn't sure, I would do a second date. And then I would know if there was a connection and there wouldn't be another one. So it was real easy. I didn't drag anything out with anybody. It was.
And the last question everybody wants to know is, how did you know he was the one? How did you know?
Oh my gosh. You know how they say there's like a person for you, like there's a person that is the person that you need, that is for you. He still is so consistent. I could set my watch by him. He's so consistent. If he says he's going to do something, he does it. He's never late. Everyone that met him, the word that they used to describe him was, he's so kind. That was kind is the word.
Wow.
He's very handsome also, but kind is the word that everyone used. And I love that about him, that's how people view him, because that's really how he is.
You hit the jackpot.
I did. I hit the jackpot.
Guys, this is such a juicy subject. We want you guys to comment. I know that Toni's going to look at those comments as well. And we know that this is a big conversation. And I want to say, Toni, your transparency was a gift. Because, you know, we hear these conversations, but not everybody is as transparent as you were. And you gave everybody an insight. And we love, you know, y'all, we love a love story. You know, we love a love story. We love a process. And you know, there's more to the conversation because they were in separate homes. They had to blend households. They have 4 grown adults. They have 1 grandchild that they share together. So even all that process makes this whole piece even more exciting, more interesting. And we as girlfriends want you to have this conversation with your girlfriend, because sometimes people are afraid to talk about what they're doing or how they're doing. And Toni, for you to say, you know, it took me 6 years and I visited several sites and these were my standards and I never let them fall. And then some girlfriends, even Toni and I have had girlfriend conversations about other girlfriends that we know that are on site, and Toni looks at them, she's good at the side eye. Toni's good at the side eye. Like, what you talking about? You know, it's just,
He did what?
right, exactly. So we thank you for this. And Katrina, you always do a good job reminding everybody what they need to do as girlfriends to follow us. Is there anything that I might have left off?
Oh my gosh. Well, we just want to know. This is the girlfriend. We got a lot of stuff happening in the world, but right now we want to know who's online. Who's online? Who has Tell us some juice below. And there's always those girlfriends that are like, not me. I ain't the one. So girlfriends, comment. Tell us about your online dating experience, and definitely comment for Toni. Even if you have a question for her, I know she'll be watching because she is always online. Get excited. Thank you.
Not like that.
Yeah, Toni. I got it. Yeah, I should have.
Toni Britton. Let me say it right.
Yes.
Toni Britton.
Yes.
Got it.
Keep hope alive, and most importantly, you guys just know that the one for you is out there. Keep hope alive. Believe. So thanks, Toni, for being our girlfriend expert today.
Yay. Thanks for having me. That was fun.
That was
All right. Bye-bye.
Toni.
Thanks. See y'all.
Bye.